It all started junior year, the time I became more involved in the community. Prior to all of that, I was an extreme introvert. I would usually collect myself from socializing because it would strain my brain. Though my antisocial characteristics did benefit me in some aspects, since I was able to focus more on classwork, resulting in me in getting straight A's in my classes. I was initially in regulars, but I was quite surprised when I was recommended to take part in the IB program. Some of the people I knew from middle school were disappointed that I was leaving regulars, but I still accepted the opportunity to see what all the hype was about. In regulars, I would consider myself as a big fish in a little pond because of my academic abilities, but once I converted into IB, the pond became larger and larger. Now there were various artists' work and competition. How did I survive? Well, my advice to you to withstand high school is to follow these 3 character traits. Be reflective. Don't let your emotions overtake you. Reflect on your actions and try to improve on them. If you find out that you're procrastinating, actually make an effort to complete your tasks sooner. Knowing that the classes were becoming more difficult and the amount of work was increasing, I agreed to join the math team club with the help of one of my friends. I knew that math team would present more complex mathematical problems, so I took this opportunity to skip ahead and improve my understanding of what I was learning at the time. Be open-minded. Don't stay conservative. View elements in a different perspective. Initially, I hated sports. Hated them. But one of my friends convinced me to join badminton club by saying it was not competitive. I can't iterate the amount of occasions I'd miss hitting the shuttles. I honestly thought there was no more hope left in me regarding my physical abilities. But as I became more committed, I became better and better and better. Even though I don't really see myself being committed to badminton or sports in general 5 years from now, I was admirably introduced to athleticism, which influenced me to play basketball with my friends after school on some occasions. Be a risk taker. No matter how immense the obstacle or deficit may be, the only way to overcome it is for you to face your fears. I took a few risks of my own by skating down a gradual slope. I was frightened of possibly falling down and, dying. And this is coming from a person with no physical background, so bear with me. I had to learn to take chances and hold on to faith to convince myself into performing the impossible. And I actually skated down the hill successfully. Well, considering that I experienced a near miss by only scraping my knee as opposed to dying, I developed a slight invincible mentality in skating, so I'm able to descend with my skateboard more sufficiently than before. Also, I decided to take the opportunity to travel to Japan with some of my classmates, even though I'd never really been out of state without my family. I was withdrawing from my comfort zone to take on the domain of cognitive dissonance, or simply put, a non-comfortable zone. Surprisingly, I managed to survive living in a foreign country for a week, including my host family for 2 nights. There was a language barrier between us. It was difficult to communicate, so we had to make hand gestures and even use Google Translate. Anyway, I'm no longer as anxious as I was prior to raiding a plane or going to a foreign country in general. In fact, I plan on studying more Japanese in the future. Overall, my journey through high school is similar to the life of an orchid. I depended on others for my growth as I was influenced into multiple school activities and clubs. Then I learned to acknowledge these substances enough to form my own ideals and to slowly prosper. So for all the anti-socialists, my advice to you is to try to join as many clubs and activities as you can, make as many friends as possible, don't stress out frequently, and in general, enjoy your time in high school. It's one step closer to stepping foot in reality.